Do you think this is a good idea?
Well, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, Texas has done a lot. Since the beginning of this crisis, they've deployed resources. They lost a National Guard member in Texas trying to help my former colleagues in the Border Patrol. And it's been very busy. They've added resources. They spent billions of dollars in the state. And just imagine what it would be like if Texas wasn't helping, wasn't doing as much as they are doing. And so now going another step further, I wish we were in a world and we had representation in our executive branch in the U.S. government that took steps to control that border. But them failing so badly, now Texas has to engage, and now it seems like they want to move in a more permanent way. Is it a good idea? Yeah, but the only reason it's there is because the federal government has failed in their responsibility to protect that border and protect Texas.
When I first heard about this, Ron, I thought to myself, well, states have like highway patrols, right? Like their own sort of police units that can patrol the highways there. Is this essentially kind of the same thing, like the state of Texas setting up their own force, except it's not along the highway? It's, east and west and northwest and southeast along the southern border?
Yeah, so they have a Department of Public Safety. Texas state troopers have been involved in helping the Border Patrol for the last several years. Operation Lone Star is across the state, in which they engage state and local county sheriffs, et cetera, to help with border enforcement. But that workforce is designed to protect their constituency. DPS is supposed to patrol the highways and make communities safer, make the roadways safe for us to travel and do commerce on. They're not assigned, they were not assigned, they were not developed to be a border force. And so replacing that capability and allowing that DPS to do what it does best, which is protect Texas citizens and have an additional force on the border. Again, only necessary because the federal government is failing in its responsibility.
Yeah, no, I get it. You take exception with the Biden administration and what's happened and how they've responded or lack thereof at the southern border. But I'm just curious, honing in on this, on the state potentially putting its own border police force down there at the border. I know you don't have a crystal ball if this happens and gets implemented in 6 months to a year, 18 months down the line, et cetera, what it looks like. But I'm wondering what you think the potential implications here are, the practical implications of it, if it gets put into place.
Well, it'll be another resource. And all resources against this problem are going to be beneficial. So if the
but would it stop migrants from? But would it stop migrants from coming over? Would it stop the flow of drugs from coming over? Those sorts of things.
Yeah, it would add control, right? We could stop more smuggling. We can save more human traffickers. They can save more people who are in distress crossing the border. So it's a net benefit. I was an operator. You add more resources to an operation, you're always going to have better outcomes. The problem is whether this is necessary or not. Texas obviously knows that it is, and we're all going to benefit from this additional capacity.
Something that happened here in Washington, Ron, recently, the House just passed a bill that would schedule permanently fentanyl, talking about drugs coming over the border, as a Schedule I controlled substance, meaning that there would be much stricter penalties. It's in place now for a little while going forward, but this would make it permanent if it eventually makes its way to the president's desk and he were to sign it. It was actually bipartisan. There were 289 members of the House who voted for it. How big of a help would this be in the fight against fentanyl down there at the southern border, and then eventually makes its way across the country?
Yeah, it will regularize what the law enforcement authorities can do. So we've got to do a lot of things as it relates to the problem that we have with fentanyl. We got to look at demand. We got to look at the contributions from Mexico and China in this problem and how we collaborate with them to lower it. And then we've got to talk about what happens at the border each and every day. Effective screening at the ports of entry, more resources between the ports of entry. We've got to do all of those things. We've got to investigate where the money and the profits for these cartels are going and what we can do to minimize this problem, both in our own country with all the deaths that we're seeing, but also in working with our international partners to make this problem smaller, get people off of this addictive substance and help law enforcement authorities at the line.
All right, Ron Vitiello, former head of ICE. Appreciate the time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.